Every morning, you reach for something before you leave the house. Sunscreen maybe, a moisturizer with SPF built in. You trust the label. You trust the chemistry, even when you can't picture what's actually happening on your skin. In northern Namibia, women have done something remarkably similar every morning for generations. No label, no factory, just a paste of butterfat, ground red stone, and a scented tree resin worked into the skin and hair until the whole body takes on a deep, burnished red. This is Otjize, and it is not decoration, not in the way you might assume. The Himba are semi-nomadic cattle herders living in the Kunene region, one of the driest, hottest parts of southern Africa. The sun there is not gentle, water is scarce, and for centuries, Otjize has been the layer between Himba skin and that environment. The red comes from hematite, an iron-rich stone mined from specific deposits in the region. Anthropologists Margaret Jacobson and geologist Gregor Borg spent years tracing exactly where that stone comes from, documenting quarries between the towns of Sesfontein and Opuwo, where Himba women have gathered ochre for generations. This isn't a random substance. It's sourced from known, named places, passed down like any other piece of inherited knowledge. Why red, though? Why not simply oil or plain clay? A 2022 study published in Scientific Reports examined the physical properties of Himba ochre at the nanoscale. Researchers led by Himba found that the iron oxide crystals in Otjize don't just sit on the skin. They filter ultraviolet light with unusual efficiency and reflect infrared heat away from the body. The same compound even showed antibacterial activity against common bacteria in lab tests. In a landscape with intense sun and limited water for washing, that's not a small advantage. That's survival, worn as a paste. But if you ask Himba women why they wear it, the answer is rarely sun protection. It's beauty. Otjize is how a woman is groomed and cared for. It's applied by hand, often by another woman, in an act that is slow, intimate, and deeply social. The color itself carries meaning too. Red is tied to earth and to blood, the two things Himba life depends on most directly: cattle and kinship. Here's the part that tends to surprise people. Men do not wear Otjize. It belongs to women specifically, tied to Himba ideas about femininity and status. A woman who stops wearing it, even temporarily, is making a statement, most often during mourning, when the usual red is set aside entirely. Anthropologist David Crandall, who lived among the Himba for extended periods and later taught at Brigham Young University, spent years documenting just how deeply symbolic Himba daily life is, down to which side of a hut certain objects are placed on, or which hand is used for which task. Otjize fits into that same logic. It's never just practical, it's never just decorative. It's both at once, in a culture where the two were never separated to begin with. That's worth sitting with for a second. In much of the world, skincare and identity have been split apart. One aisle for sunscreen, another for self-expression entirely. The Himba never made that split. The same paste that keeps the sun off the skin is the same paste that tells the community who a woman is, what stage of life she's in, whether she's mourning or celebrating. So the next time you smooth on sunscreen and check yourself in the mirror before walking out the door, you're doing something that, in its bones, isn't so different from what Himba women have done every morning for generations. You're just missing the part where protection and identity were never two separate things to begin with.